the most popular mouse ever. And at first glance, it looks just like a normal gaming mouse. But did you know this 115-gram mouse has been the #1 choice for gaming on Amazon for over 8 years? In a world where ultralight mice are considered the creme de la crop, why is this mouse still the #1 choice? I tested this mouse out for myself for a week straight, found the 3 biggest reasons people buy it, and interviewed experts to see what all the fuss was about. And what I learned shocked me. Now, when the G502 first arrived at my door, I tore the mouse out of the box. I expected to be blown away by all the hype it carried, but to be honest, I was disappointed. While it looked cool and futuristic, it felt plasticky and cheap. And when compared to the sleek build of the G Pro Superlight, it seems lackluster. And it's heavy, like really heavy. Initially, I'm not that impressed. But there must be something about this mouse that makes it so wildly popular. Now I'm determined to get to the bottom of this. First, I went to the beacon of intellectual discussion, Twitter, to figure out what you guys thought. I heard a range of answers such as the 7 programmable buttons, the infinite scroll wheel, and weirdly enough, some people even love how heavy it is and that you can add weight. But all those specific features aren't unique to this mouse. There are several other mice with programmable buttons, fancy scroll wheel, and addable weights. I didn't feel like I was getting any closer to the answer, and I needed to dig deeper. Then I made a wild discovery that changed everything. I found an entire subreddit based around the G502 called the G502 Master Race. This mouse has such a die-hard fan group that an entire community sprung up around it. Now, at Reddit, the beacon of intellectual discussion, I can finally learn so much about why people love it. It's just memes. Memes about how people complain that the G502 is too heavy. Okay, so I'm not gonna learn too much here, but I did laugh a bit. What confuses me the most, it seems like the things that people hate about this mouse, like the heavy weight, are the things that people who use the mouse hold most dear. I'm getting really confused now. I needed some true perspective, so I went to the true beacon of the Discord and reached out to a few of my friends who have used it for almost a decade. Why did you buy the G502 in the first place?
When I was shopping around for a mouse probably like 7 or 8 years ago, I looked at so many different ones, and the 502 was like all over Amazon, like the #1 mouse.
Because I've had this mouse in some form for, gosh, maybe 6 or more years. Originally, I had a Razer MMO mouse, and that had too many buttons. It was also very uncomfortable to my wrist. Like, it didn't fit my thumb very well. And I tried a Logitech G502 in Best Buy and was like, ooh, this feels nice. And I bought it, just the normal one.
What's the most common thing you do with your mouse?
When I first started using it, I used it in Counter-Strike, which now I use like a completely different type of mouse, like a very lightweight mouse that kind of like the G Pro wireless. I liked all the buttons you could click, like you could like set all your keybinds to different things. But these days, this thing's kind of just turned into my editing mouse for YouTube. Mostly because the scroll has the infinite scroll. It's really useful for YouTube.
Obviously, it's subscribing to the Switch and Click YouTube channel. Of course, you know, the Hypotech YouTube channel, every other creator featured in this video.
So now that I've learned a few things about why they love this mouse, it's time for my own journey of exploration. I used the mouse for an entire week playing sweaty matches of Valorant and used it for work and leisure. At times, I hated it, and at times, I loved it. And in those 7 days of heavy use, deep monk-like meditation, I was able to divine the 3 biggest reasons why people love this mouse so dang much. This video is sponsored by Ugreen. Ugreen's Nexode 65-watt charger is the charger for all your devices, phones, tablets, and laptops. It provides a whopping 65 watts of charging power, which can charge a MacBook Pro 13-inch 2020 from 0% to 100% in less than 2 hours. You can take my phone, the Samsung S22 Ultra, from 0% to 98% in 1 hour. This phone's got a massive battery too. I don't even have to charge my phone overnight anymore. I just plug in my phone every morning while making coffee, then it's ready for the rest of the day. It features a travel-friendly compact design. Fold the plug in and throw it into your bag. The charger has 2 USB-C ports and 1 USB-A port, perfect for charging multiple devices at once. Instead of this, you get this compact charger instead. The Nexode 65-watt charger will never damage your devices. The Ugreen intelligent power distribution tech adjusts the power output to protect your device's battery. No more heat damage. To experience super fast charging today, get the Nexo 65-watt charger by using the first link in the description. Number 1, the weird optional features.
I just finished a few games of Valorant with this mouse with all the weights, and I just took them out mid-game because it sucked. It was so tiring, and here they are. It's just little bits.
I gotta say, this mouse has some of the strangest features that I have ever seen. For example, the endless scroll wheel. Whether or not you actually use it, it's a weird feature. Patrick used the mouse exclusively for video editing due to how much he likes the scroll wheel. I had some trouble while gaming. In FPS games, I would accidentally switch weapons from the knife to the pistol to the gun mid-fights, which led to some costly mistakes. I would also accidentally scroll while looking at websites, and those sorts of issues add up over time and get frustrating to deal with. You can also, press a button and it won't do that anymore. There are so many buttons. That's one of the cool bits, but I'm not a person that uses all these buttons. I only use that click, and that's about it. When you have a feature like this, it's a choice that you get to make whether you use it or not, and because you made the choice, now you feel more of a sense of ownership over the mouse. Yes, this is my mouse. Like the weights on the back. Most people will never use the weights.
Are you using any of the additional weights?
No, at least hold on. No, I checked.
Found that with your aiming, like, the lighter the mouse is, the more you can use your fingertips to aim it. I give the analogy sometimes of like holding a pencil. You wouldn't hold a pencil like with a close grip.
But because you made that decision, now you feel more attached to the mouse than ever. But in the short time I've used this mouse, I've made 5 to 6 decisions about how I like to use it. With a normal mouse, probably have 2 decisions: DPI and turn on or off. So I hereby have come up with a theory. The more decisions you make with a product, the stronger the sense of ownership you feel over the product, regardless of how strange the decisions are in the first place. Hence, why this product has such a strong fan base. Number 2, the shape. I think I've actually begun to fall in love with the shape. Look at that thumb. As I started using the mouse, I slowly started to understand the appeal. It has a wing on the left to rest your thumb that gives it a Batman-like look and feel. But it's more than that. The shape at the time was different and new. It was a wow factor. If you're shopping at a store and you see a dozen mice with the exact same design, and then you start to see the G502 with a wing, you think, well, that looks cool. Then you buy it. But the shape is also extremely functional as well as stylish. The hump in the back provides support for your entire hand and makes for a comfortable palm grip instead of the aggressive grip that other mice force you to. I think for the casual gamer, you don't need an aggressive grip. But what do I know? And number 3, the price. Out of all the reasons, this is purely the simplest. At the start of this project, I was really trying to figure out why people love this mouse so much, and I kept coming to the same answers over and over. When I asked my brother and sister why they use the G502, they said it wasn't expensive. That's it. It's pretty cheap. I am finished using the Logitech G502 Lightspeed. I've used it for 7 days now, so I don't think this mouse is for me. My siblings use this mouse. My friends have all used this mouse in the past, but there's better options nowadays. So I gotta say goodbye to the G502. You were good to me. You're really popular, but you're not for me.